Hello everyone, it's Sky here and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. So today we are going to be finishing up our September color along and I am so excited to finally see her finished. Sometimes color alongs, I'll admit, feel like they drag on a little bit, but once I get to the point where I'm really liking how it turns out, I just can't wait to get it finished. But for this one, it's been like that since the very first part, so I'm so eager to finish her. I think she's gonna look awesome. She already looks pretty amazing as is. If you guys can't tell, I'm quite proud of her. So I really hope you guys like her as well. And then another exciting thing with getting this finished, that also means that I can start recording our October color along soon, which if you guys have been around for a while, you know I absolutely love Halloween. So I have some overwhelming plans. I would like to have a color along as well as like a speed color and maybe also a mini color along. I'm not too sure yet, we'll see. That might be biting off a bit more than I can chew, but Halloween is my favorite time of year probably, so we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I do have some colors picked out. I did look up kind of like a pastel sunset because again, I don't want to add like super bright colors into this. I want to keep it pale and muted. So this is kind of what I'm going with for the background. I want to keep it really light and whimsical. And then I think for the clouds, I'm going to keep them like a white grayish with like maybe like hints of the sunset color maybe is the plan. But we're going to kind of go from there and see. I can't remember which part we did this in. I think it was part 3. But I took a Posca pen and I colored over the outline here because this is actually hills. When I had originally done the marker picture, as I said in I think part 1, I thought this was just a cloud in the background. But I like the idea of this being just like a big open sky rather than having hills here and then the sky, because I don't really want that much green in here. So I would rather have this as the background. So we took out the hills. We're going to color these as little clouds and then they're going to get floofier as they get up into the sky there. But yeah, that's the plan. So I've got some colors out. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm not going to zoom in too much yet because, as always, I want to block our colors in. And one thing that I always do when I'm doing this is I always make it too dark, so I really don't want to do that. So I think generally I start with the darker colors normally and then work my way into the lighter ones maybe. So let's maybe try and do this the opposite. So I'm going to grab my lightest color, which I think is the cream. So I'm going to grab that and we're just going to start going up. And we're going to figure out where we're going to keep this. So I'm just lightly blocking in these colors, basically just adding a base. I would like the cream to kind of come up to maybe about here. And then start fading off maybe. And I'm not going to keep it all even. Okay, I think that's probably good for the cream. All right, let's go in with the Deco Yellow now. Maybe have this coming up to like here. I don't really want too much of the Deco Yellow in around the daffodils maybe. I have it coming up a little bit higher, kind of closer to her though. This is going to be a cloud there. So about up to here, and we'll have it come up a little bit higher on this side maybe. If this ends up scratching the Posca pen off, then I'll have to kind of come up with a plan B, but we'll worry about that when we get there. Okay, our next color think is the light peach. I'm a little confused now. I had all of these in order. Oh, I've got my pencils in order, that's what. And this guy escaped from its pencil holder. I don't know. You stay. You stay. All right, there we go. So maybe have this come up to like the middle of this cloud. So that'd be about mid butterfly over here. I'll make these ones match up. Just because. Okay, our next color is Deco Peach. This one I don't think I'm going to bring up too much because I feel like the Deco Peach and the Light Peach are pretty similar. So I might even nix one of them, I'm not sure. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit farther just in case we do decide to keep it. I probably just won't put much of it. All right, next we've got Salmon Pink. Lavender is next. Maybe bring this one up to just about here. Probably bring them down a little bit. This way we can kind of see what it would look like, and then we can always add the darker colors down further if we need to. Whereas if we did it the other way around, we couldn't really add the lighter colors over top of the darker colors very easily. So let's maybe add some in here. And then we technically don't even need to add this color yet, but I'm going to anyway. So this is the Parma Violet. Oh. Okay, I did make it so you guys can see all of the sky. I panicked again for a second there. I did that last time too. I had already moved the page and then I started coloring and then I'm like, oh crap, I gotta move the page. But at least my brain is remembering and being a little more self-aware of that, so. Come on, get off. Okay, I'm gonna grab my little mermaid tail brush here and just swipe anything off of the page that's on there because I've noticed just a few little random flaky bits. Okay, I think this looks cute. I do think that the Parma Violet looks okay, but I think I want to bring the lavender down, probably to about here. Okay. So I want to work on the top first, that way I can clip her back up here, but I have like this awkward kind of like edge on my clipboard here, so I can't really color on that, so I'm gonna have to pull her down. We're gonna zoom in a bit. And I'm gonna try and keep her right there as much as I can. I think what I can do is let's go like this. I'm gonna keep this paper clipped there. She goes right there. And then I'm gonna grab some washi tape and I'll just kind of washi tape the top. There, that way it stays where I need it to. Alright, so then we can come in with the Parma Violet. I'm gonna get a nice point on mine. It's just gonna make the whole process a little bit easier. Now, I'm not too worried about burnishing because I think I might actually bring the white out. And I'll probably burnish with that because that will make these colors even more kind of pastel, which is what I want. So right now I'm just kind of coming in with, I'd say like a medium light pressure. I'm just laying some color down here. I'm trying to keep it as smooth as possible. But unfortunately with this paper, it's a little bit difficult. I think I'm going to bring it down to about here, and then I'm just going to start lightly letting off the pressure. Just going to go back here. Any spots that look patchy or anything, I'm just going to try and add a little bit more color to. I think I'm actually making it worse though. We kind of want to have a little bit of the lavender in here too, so I'm just going to fade this down. I really love the purple in behind these flowers. It makes them pop out so much. I think that's probably good for the Parma Violet. I picked my bad washi tape. This is the super cheap stuff, so hopefully it stays long enough. As long as we can get some of this kind of color down here, then it should be fine. So we're gonna come in with the lavender now. I think another mistake I make with backgrounds like these is generally I would get to this part and then I would go in and burnish the top because we're technically done with the Parma Violet, but then I can't blend into that color or like add to it at all after that. So I think that's maybe another mistake I'm making. So for this one, since we're not burnishing any of these colors on their own, or at least none of the darker ones, we're going to be using white to burnish. We're just kind of going in and layering them so we can always add to them after if we need to. So we're kind of leaving that door open for ourselves. Here we're saying kind of down to this cloud here. I think we're just about there. I'm going to bring it down a little bit further on this side. Maybe to about here. And then we're going to add some up here. I'm going to add some going into the Parma Violet as well. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. We're going to fade it off right around here. We're going to add a little bit of color down under this one though, under this flower. I think that looks good. Salmon pink is our next color. Let's see where we go up to. Okay, so I can color about up to this daffodil here safely without losing frame. I'm going to sharpen this because this pencil feels a little weird. I'm going to bring this up into the purple a ways. Just kind of randomly. I'm just kind of winging it and doing what feels right. I really like this color. I feel like it's kind of like opposite of most of the colors that we have used so far, so I feel like this one stands out a fair bit. It's really pretty. Probably going to bring it down to about here maybe. So kind of like just under this cloud here, we'll start fading it off. Okay, that looks good. So we'll do the same thing over here. Again, kind of bringing this up into the lavender a little ways. We've brought this down to like just about here, so I think we'll just fade this off around the middle of the butterfly's wings, so around here. I don't want the two sides to match. I want them to be similar but not quite the same. So again, just kind of going over these layers, smoothing them out, making sure they look okay. Making sure there's a good amount of color, especially with our lighter colors, because when we go over with the white, it'll kind of fade them out quite a bit. And if they're super light and not very much pigment down on the paper, then we might lose them. Okay. So Deco Peach is next. I'm gonna sharpen this one too. Again, we don't need really a whole bunch of this one. I don't know if it'll make much difference, but I'm going to go over top of the salmon pink with this one as well, kind of blend them together. They're very similar, so we probably don't need to, but just for consistency's sake, we will. I'm going to bring this down to maybe like here. Like I said, not too far at all, so I don't really think we need a whole lot. I'll probably go over the majority of this with the light peach as well anyways, so. This one I'm going to fade off here. Okay, light peach is next. I'm gonna go over, like I'd say like 3/4 of the Deco Peach from the bottom. So I'm leaving a little bit up here untouched, but then I'm kind of going over the rest of it and bringing it down just a little bit. Not a whole lot more, because I think the rest will probably just be yellow, but at least past this daffodil and this one for sure. Oh, I didn't move my page back up. And I need to do that. Let's get rid of this. This is not working. And it's stirring my paper. It sticks enough to the paper, just not to the paper behind it. Let's see if we can go about there. I think we might just have to blend our lighter colors, or burnish our lighter colors themselves. I would say probably starting with the Deco Peach. Well, actually I'd say the light peach, because I think the salmon pink should be burnished with the white because otherwise it will be a little too bright. But the rest of these are fairly solid color, fairly light colors. They might be okay. We'll have to see. This is such a light color, like I can't even really see where I'm putting it down. So I imagine you guys probably can't either. Hopefully enough to kind of get a general idea. I think that's probably okay there. So let's go in with our deco yellow now. So again, slightly over the pink we just added in here. I'll bring some up this way too, just kind of randomly. The yellows especially don't have to be super, what's the word I'm looking for? Balanced, it's not the word, but they don't have to be the same on both sides, especially because it's so light, you're not really gonna notice. Bringing the deco yellow about to here, fading it out. And then on this side, I'm going to bring it down a little farther. I'm going to bring it down to about here. Okay, and then we'll switch to the cream. I'm going to do a decent layer of the cream for sure. So still using that kind of light medium pressure, but going over the same area multiple times. Lots and lots of layers. I think this looks good. I don't know if I want to use the white to burnish. I don't know if I really need to. See, the only area I think that needs to be burnished is like from here down. So I'm gonna go in with the Deco Peach. And I think I'm gonna burnish with this. So I'm just gonna go over the Parma Violet in small circles. Starting off with a light pressure, kind of blending it around, and then gradually increasing the pressure. from here, let's switch to the light peach. And we're just going to do the same thing, just with a lighter color. Right now I'm mostly just focusing on the areas that look like they need to be burnished. The ones where you can notice the white spots kind of popping through, because the salmon pink isn't very dark, so you can only see some areas where there's white coming through. So the side is pretty much done. I hope I didn't have that one out when I had the Deco Peach. Apologies if I did. It's obviously not paying attention then. Okay, so let's go back with the Deco Peach. Thankfully, if I did have the wrong swatch out, the barrels of the pencils are very different, so you know full well that that was not Parma Violet. We can see this, right? Okay, good, good. Okay, and about here is where we're going to switch to our light peach. Okay, so the clouds, I was actually inspired by clouds from the other page for April. So if you're not familiar with Hannah's Patreon, which I imagine if you've watched this far, you probably are, because you probably got this page. She has a main page for the month, and then for silver supporters and higher, there's also a mid-month page. So the mid-month page for April was Peacock Garden, I think. Yeah, Peacock Garden. It was super cute. There was, this was colored by Amy Gifford. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. I love this page, but I especially love her clouds. So I'm going to try and do something similar for ours. I think the main thing that I love about her clouds is they don't stand out. They're not super stark white, so they're bright. They're not super dark, but they're also their own. They don't just mesh in with the sky. They still stand out from the sky without standing out from the picture, if that makes sense. So I kind of want to do something similar in that sense. So I did pick out some grays, and we're going to use those, but I think we're going to use some other colors too, just to kind of make them pop out slightly from the background. So let's start with the lavender. I'm going to add some lavender along the bottom of this cloud here. Let's see. I think what we'll do is we'll tackle these big floofy clouds first, and then we'll move down to the smaller ones, because then I'll remember that I need to move the camera. So I think that's what we'll do. So I'm going to throw some lavender in on this one. Maybe on this one as well. I like that. Definitely want to bring the salmon pink into these clouds. I love that color. So I'll add some on this one here. And I'm only putting these colors in real lightly. I want to add salmon pink to the lavender down here as well. I'm holding my pencil super far down like this because it causes you not to have as much control. So that way it's a little bit looser. It's easier to use a light pressure if you're heavy-handed. It's probably really good to do it like this and just color a little bit slower because you lose a little bit of your control. I like these with the lavender actually. I don't think I like the salmon pink ones on their own. Let's add a little bit of lavender to these then. Just kind of more so towards the edges of the clouds and just along the bottom. Okay, I think that looks cute. I want to add a little bit of the deco yellow in this. I think mostly just like along the top a little bit here. So it should probably be the opposite, but I don't know. This is just how I want to do them. I should probably have like glow coming from the bottom because that's where the sun is, but oh well. Okay, so now let's start coming in with our grays. So I chose the 30% gray and the 10% gray. So I think I'm going to tuck the grays along the bottom here to kind of mute these colors. 30% gray, I should say. So it'll mute the colors and then it'll also make it a little bit darker. And then I'm going to bring that up a little bit into the white of the cloud as well. Just going to slowly add layers to keep kind of working up this color because I don't want to go too dark right away because I don't quite know exactly where I want it yet. Thinking right about this tone is probably good. So let's carry on here. All right, and then we are going to finish the clouds off with the 10% cool gray. So I'm going to use this over everything. I'm going to start off softly and gradually pick up pressure and blend and burnish everything together. there's those clouds. And we're gonna kind of do the same thing on these bottom clouds, just on a smaller scale. So tiny bit of lavender just along the bottoms. Don't know if I colored this little spot, so I'm just going to quickly go in with the deco yellow here, just to make sure. Okay, then the salmon pink, and that's just going to go slightly over top of the lavender. A little bit of deco yellow at the tops. Add a little bit of the 30% cool gray along our shadows here, just a little bit. And then last but not least, we'll go over top with the 10% cool gray. And finish those all off. All right, so I know the lines from the hills do kind of look noticeable, but I don't think it's so bad, so I'm not gonna worry too much about them. Let's go in with some final touches here. So I've got my Posca pen. I want to create just some like whimsical little dots up near these flowers here. Especially because we've got that kind of like darker purple color that the dots will show up around. I am going to outline the clouds too. And I'm also going to have some little dots around the butterflies. Okay, add some little stars here and there. I think that looks cute. Don't know where we can go down to. I think we were good there. Okay, I do want to lighten these lines up a little bit. I'll probably keep a little bit of the black, so I'm not going to go over them completely. But I definitely want to lighten them up. trying to decide whether we should put some sparkles up just near the normal purple in the sky or just keep them near the trees. I think let's add a little bit. Make sure I'm in frame. Okay, we're good. Just want to add like just a couple little ones. There we go. I like that. Add a little bit of a white glow, like shine line on her toes. Maybe her finger if I can get a thin enough line here. Okay, I think these purple flowers need to be outlined as well. I want her to be the main focus, so by lightening up the flowers, that will kind of help. Not worried about the leaves or anything because they're already a super light color. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks better already. Okay, as for glitter goes, I just don't know. Part of me kind of wants to sparkle up the flowers and the tree. But then I feel like something else needs to sparkle somewhere on the bottom half of the page, and I really don't know what. Flowers on her dress maybe, but then they're all on like this side of the page. I gotta try something here. I like that better. Butterflies just stood out a little too much. I wanted to make them stand out last part. No, I don't want them to stand out quite so much this part. I can never make up my mind. I think I might just leave it as is. I really don't want to wreck it. If you do want to add stickles, I'd probably recommend doing the flowers up here and then the flowers on her dress. Those are really the only two spots I personally would add stickles. I just don't want to wreck anything, so I don't think I'm going to. I want to, but I don't. I'm trying to scratch off a slight bit of the weight on her fingernail there. Okay, we're doing it. Okay, I've got a bunch of clear stickles. If I can't make up my mind about something and I'm not gonna do it and then it keeps eating at me, then I need to just do it. Because otherwise I'm just gonna wonder and it's not gonna be fun. Yeah, I like this one the best. This is my favorite. This one just has like little sparkly pinks and blues and purples in it. Now when I put stickles down, I put like a tiny dot and then kind of blend them around because I don't want the whole area sparkly, or not like overly sparkly. So I'm just kind of like dotting this around here. I'm gonna just start with the flowers around up here and then see what those look like when they're done, and then we'll think about doing the dress. So, who knows, maybe the flowers up here might just be enough. Maybe we don't need to make it balanced. Maybe that's all in my head. Let's do one flower. It is really pretty. It is really pretty. Okay, so we got the flowers up here. Stickles never show up very good on this camera. I don't know why. And then I've got the one flower there, and I think I actually do like that. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna be very careful though, because we did outline this with a Posca, with a actually it was a jelly roll, but either way we did outline them with a white pen. So I'm gonna be very careful and just dot tiny little bits of stickles and spread them around very carefully so I don't accidentally get rid of that white outline, because I don't think they're waterproof. Just need like 50 tubes of stickles, just this color. Okay, and I want to try, I know I didn't like this last time, but maybe it was just because I used that pink colored one. I think it was the pink colored one because I like that a lot better. All right, and then I think the last thing I'm gonna do is the daffodils. I think just the yellow parts of them. I don't think I'm gonna do the whole thing. I'm gonna have to flip this upside down, because I don't want to run my hands through the stickles. There we go. I think that's it, and I think that kind of balances the glitteriness around too. Nice, put the flowers there. Got the daffodils. And the flowers on her dress. And her lip gloss. Which I'm actually gonna take, I don't have a toothpick. I'm just gonna take a pencil, I think. No, because that'll be shiny. Okay, black eyeliner. Ooh, there's stickles everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna take this and just very carefully run that along the inside of her lip and then clean my fine liner off, otherwise it won't work anymore. And the reason I did that is just because I don't want any stickles on that separating section of her lips. I'm just very weird like that. I'm also just going to take a Q-tip and just kind of spread the bottom lip ones around a little bit more and pull up some of the top ones. There we go. That's better. I'm very particular about stickles. I don't know why. One on the black right here. I can scratch that off after. I just don't like when it's on the black lines because then it kind of like makes an inverted color tone, like the one on her lip. If you can see it, it's just like right here. It looks green because it's on the black, but it's probably actually blue or purple because see, none of the other ones are green. So that's one thing that I don't like about them. Yeah, it was a blue one. You definitely don't have to be as particular as me, but I can be a bit of a handful. Anyways, I am obsessed with this page, actually. I think this would definitely have to go into my top 10 favorites for sure. The spring colors are just absolutely gorgeous. I love her hair. Just the style of hair in general I already loved, and just the way it turned out when we colored it. Even more so, her eyes I struggled with so much, but they turned out really good, and I'm so happy with that. They just have so much character and extra interest. She is just all around absolutely adorable. So happy she turned out how she did. I hope you guys enjoyed the process, and if you did color along with me, I would love to see her, so please use the hashtag #DreamAndColorAlong when you share her. That way I can try and find her. You can also send them to my email, you can tag me on Instagram, Facebook, send them to my Instagram or Facebook, any of those. I would just love to see your pages. Let me know what you guys thought about this color along, and I will see you when it's spooky season. All right, guys, as always, take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.